content is king. Welcome to another epic video. Your host is Frank Bello. Let's get started.
Yes, hi everyone. Yes, good evening. Good evening to each and every one of you. Let me bring in the drop background. I don't know why that drop background refused to load. Let's bring it in. Let's see, the drop background from the studio. Which one should I use this night? Let me use this one. Yes, let me use that one. Yes, it's better now, as you all can see. Good evening. Good evening all. Yes, I sincerely hope that some people will join us this night on the episode 2 of what we discussed yesterday. Nigeria in flame. It was never my intentions to come live, but I have to. In a way, I have to, because there's a lot that is going on in Nigeria at the moment. I hope you guys can hear me clearly, because it's been a long time I streamed live to you. So the studio, in the process of upgrading itself, disrupted all the settings that I had in the studio. So I have to go through all the settings one by one after the other. Today's Monday, the 24th day of November 2025. This particular stream is not going to be a long process, but I just felt like it is better to come out this night, and you will begin to see me time after time from now. So if you haven't clicked your follow us button on Facebook, and you subscribe to our channel and then press the bell icon, you might not be able to actually witness exactly what we are doing online from this end of the dispatch box in London. Yes, I'm yours and truly, Frank Bello is my name, and it is absolutely necessary for me to come live to you, looking at the various development of things in location 9, Nigeria. I think it is worth my while to actually add my own voice, like I have been doing time after time and I've been telling you guys a lot of things, but many of the things that I have been pumping out of this brain, many of you seem not to take me serious, and I don't want a handful of you to take me serious, because at the end of the day, many of the things that I had already said yesteryears is now coming to pass. Many of the things I wrote about many years ago are still very relevant today. A prophet is never respected in his own yard, and I don't want any of you to respect me, but all that matters to me is the fact that the spiritual work that I have been ordained to come and deliver to you is delivered. It is now up to you, the procrastinators, to take the divine instructions. I'm not a pastor, I'm not an alaji, I'm not an imam, but I think I'm one of God's beloved. Nigeria in Flame in 2025, episode 2 is what I want to talk about. Yesterday, Sunday, the 23rd day of November 2025, I treated Nigeria in Flame. I reminded a handful of you by playing a video clip of a live podcast that I did in 2020 to remind you many of the things I've been speaking about that has come to pass. You see, some of you, a handful of you that you've been with me for some time, you will remember very vividly that I started a series of hashtag Nigeria is bleeding in 2017. Many of you that you've been with me, hashtag Nigeria is bleeding in 2017, I started. It is rather unfortunate for many of you as well that in 2025, since 2017, that I saw the fact that Nigeria was bleeding. Many of you are now saying Nigeria is bleeding. I saw the bleeding in 2027, and I think consecutively I released into the public domain over 200 or 300 series of over an hour live stream of each of those episodes to explain to you reasons Nigeria was bleeding at the time from 2017. So the series took almost a year and a half up to 2 years. But unfortunately, many of you discarded what I saw at the time from 2017 that ran up to a year and a half and 2 years. Now, many of you now had the gumption, the audacity now to begin to see the fact that Nigeria is bleeding. Nigeria has been bleeding for a long, long time. Like the Yoruba people, my tribe, will say, kò ń ṣe gbogbo ẹni tó ní ojú ló fi ń ríran. It is not all the people that can see have got the gift of the inner eye to poke and see what is happening in the world. Gbogbo yín, all of you, the Yoruba people, you only have eyes, but you cannot see. Nigeria in Flame 2025 episode 2. I don't know how long this episode is going to take us as well. It depends. Did you get me? It depends. The first topic I want to talk about, and I promise I am going to finish this up, if it is possible, in 30 minutes, 45 minutes. The first topic I want to treat this night is late. As you guys can see, let me bring up the clock and let me bring the clock up to your screen. So that you people can actually, yes, ascertain. The time in London is 21:31 London time, as you can see right off your screen. 21:32 now, as you can see. The very first topic that I want to talk about is Nigeria. Between the military and recolonization by Donald Trump and the European Union. That is the first topic I want to talk about. Isabella Oyinkansola Aigbokiki, good evening. The first topic I want to trash with you tonight. Nigeria between the military and recolonization by Donald Trump and the European Union. I want to talk about that. Number 2, did Bola Ahmed Tinubu destroyed democracy in Nigeria? Did Bola Ahmed Tinubu destroyed democracy in Nigeria? I want you to look back. Look back from 1999 to date in question. Who destroyed democracy? Is the question I have to ask. Is it Bola Ahmed Tinubu that destroyed democracy in Nigeria? Or is it Olusegun Obasanjo that destroyed democracy in Nigeria? That's number 2. Number 3. Just 3 hot topics that I want to talk about. Tinubu 2023 versus Jonathan 2011. Both of these two people were southern presidents in Nigeria. The same game plan by the North to destabilize Nigeria is now being played. Karma, Nemesis, is now coming to haunt Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I've got few points that I am going to elaborate on when it comes to that. Let's take it. If this is your first time on this great channel, please don't forget to give us the thumbs up, like, love, so that Facebook and YouTube algorithm will be able to actually spread this gospel around the whole world. We are non-profit. This channel is non-profit, but we tend to nurture your mind by presenting you news content in digital form that will nourish your soul and uplift your spirit. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Nigeria, let's start from the first item that I have in store for you. Nigeria between the military and recolonization by Donald Trump and the European Union. Let me tell you sincerely, very sincerely, I got a divine message. That divine message. And I think if I probably should go back through my archives and my old streams, what I am about to say to you, I think I streamed about the same thing in 2020 when our then Prime Minister Boris Johnson said, and I quote, "Colonization came too early for most African nations, and that Africa needed to be recolonized." We had colonization, we had new colonization. after colonization, behind the back, Britain was remotely controlling Nigeria, and any leader in Nigeria who refused to dance to the tune of the British establishment is either what? Or toppled in a military coup. So military coup was the game plan that the colonizers of Africa used in managing many of the African leaders. And do you know why the colonizers used that? The colonizers, they've seen through the eyes and the mind of the black race that they hated themselves so much that a black man will kill his own children or his own parents for money. As such, the white race were not really comfortable, and that was why I said during slavery exposed the evil the black race perpetrated against their own race. But because slavery exposed the weaknesses of the black race, that was exactly why the white race capitalized on the weaknesses of the black race. That, oh, so you can do this for us, then okay, we will milk you out. But then after slavery came colonization. The debris of colonization, the debris of slavery was then brought into colonization by the white race. But the black race still did not understand that the white race were playing on their minds. It's a mind game. To the extent that the white race made it known that the best way to keep a secret from a black man is to document it, that the black race will never find out where the secret is kept. Now, let me ask you, how many of you, I've said this time after time on my live stream, a lot of intellectuals and a lot of people are writing books across Nigeria, good, bad, ugly. How many have you read? Even in as much as many of them are not even telling the truth. Look at, okay, let me even come close home. The recent book that was controversial in Nigeria, Ibrahim Babangida's book. I'm not going to go into details, but having had a digital version of that book and having read the book, I tell you what, Babangida lied. that book Babangida wrote was incomplete. It was full of garbage, to the extent that Professor Wole Soyinka, that was part and parcel of the same old system, told Babangida will have to rewrite the book because there was some information that were visible to me that Babangida refused to expose in his book. So the book, as far as I am concerned, Babangida's book is nothing to talk about, because Babangida's book distorted history. Babangida never accused Obasanjo, his superior. I was expecting to see that, and I said I am not going to stop in as much as I am IBB's friend, and IBB knew, he knew I know so much about June 12th that I streamed to you, that I restreamed to you yesterday, to which I personally investigated in 2011, the June 12 saga. I delved deep into it, and I am pained. And because I am pained that I investigated the truth, I found out the truth, but the people behind the game plan then refused to reveal the truth to Nigerians. That is exactly why I am in pain, and because I am in pain, many of these people will know no peace, and they will see no peace, and their generations will know no peace, and their generations that are yet unborn will never see peace in their lifetime. Good evening, Love Doris. Nigeria between the military and recolonization by Donald Trump and the European Union. I am seriously, like I had already indicated, that I wanted Donald Trump to come and strike Nigeria. And that strike by Donald Trump shouldn't be a soft strike or a middle strike, but a hard strike on Nigeria. I don't care what anybody else is going to say. If Donald Trump's strike on Nigeria is going to culminate a new form of recolonization for Nigeria, so be it. I am sick, and many rightful thinking innocent Nigerians that has been through the same mental torture that Nigeria made us go through in this our life are equally sick of that hopeless, nasty, ridiculous contraption called Nigeria. Now, because Donald Trump is now in the equation of things in Nigeria, let me tell you, Bola Tinubu's life is at risk. Did you get that? I saw this before 2023 elections. I saw this. And because I saw this, I am going to mention that my friend's name when he was in London. I discussed the issue of Bola Ahmed Tinubu with Kasim Afegbua, Prince Kasim Afegbua. We're very close. And Prince Kasim Afegbua happens to be the former spokesman for General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. Kasim and I are very close. We're like brothers from different mother. One-on-one, because Kasim and Febi Fani Kayode, FFK, were part and parcel of the campaign train of Bola Ahmed Tinubu before he even declared his intention to run. They were at the forefront. I was extremely adamant. For me, I made my point known to all of them in Asiwaju's team that I would have loved to see Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu fighting for the interest of the Yoruba land and not to contest for the presidency. I knew I was a little bit scared, but everything then became clearer to me. And I think as at that time, Asiwaju was talking to each and every one of us in a coded form. I was particularly angry at Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu because I saw Asiwaju as a true forceful Yoruba man. A man that can fight and will continue to fight. But in one of my private conversations with Prince Kasim Afegbua in London, when he was in London, I said to him, my fear for Tinubu is that the North will eventually end up killing him. Did you hear that? I said my fear, because Asiwaju is the only leader that is formidable, like the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo, that the North will kill him eventually. But then I wasn't really thinking and looking at the way Asiwaju was looking at things, but then he knew his way round and how to fight his political opponents. I'm not a politician, but Asiwaju happens to be the real Oga Patapata of politics. He fought his way through. The North believed that Asiwaju will die in about 3 to 6 months' time due to the choreographed, I won't say orchestrated, choreographed events. The choreographed events
of the then campaign before he was nominated as the APC candidate, when everyone saw him shitting on his dress, peeing on his dress, hands shaking to the extent that the Igbo people and the obedient people even waxed a song for him, that hand they shake and the rest of it. Presented a different angle to the North. The North had thought that the same game plan that Obasanjo played with them in 2017, they are about to repeat the same game plan in 2023, and that it is just a matter of time, between 3 to 6 months time, Asiwaju will die and Boko Haram leader and sponsor Kashim Shettima will then become the president. Anibolaji, good evening. Narada Franklin, good evening. That was the game plan of the Muslim ticket. I wouldn't say Asiwaju made mistakes. The mistakes Obafemi Awolowo made and the mistakes MKO Abiola made, like I said to you previously in many of my podcasts, Asiwaju did a SWOT analysis. Many of you who are not intellectually endowed probably did not know, but if I have to touch on anything, I'm going to any business enterprise, I will carry out a SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. I've discussed this issue with you guys. So Asiwaju, through his media experts, and perhaps he must have given instructions that they should carry out a SWOT analysis of what went wrong in Obafemi Awolowo's ambition, MKO Abiola's ambition, and then compared the two SWOT analysis together and then build his own brand. And that was why he never had any godfather. Mind you, Awolowo never had any godfather. He had the backup of his people behind him. Abiola never had any godfather. He had the backup of his people and the entire Nigeria. So the mistakes Awolowo made in the SWOT analysis, the mistakes Abiola made, Asiwaju improved on the mistakes of those two leaders, and he was able to beat and to defeat the North. And that was why Abiola said, power is not taken lightly. Grab it and run away with it. Báwo ni Surulere? You see, Olusegun Obasanjo, with no disrespect to him, was a northern puppet. He was a puppet. Obasanjo was a puppet the North. From his days at the military, Obasanjo has been a betrayal of the Yoruba race, a puppet of the North. The North made him a military junta in 1976 after Dimka killed Murtala Muhammad. Look at it this way. In the Dimka coup, it was IBB Ibrahim Babangida that saved Obasanjo's life. 1999, when Obasanjo equally became an elected president, the same IBB was the man that saved him when Abacha was at the point of eradicating him, and then installing Obasanjo. IBB installed Obasanjo in 1999 to appease the Southwest of the dangerous game Obasanjo played that turned Nigeria in flame. Obasanjo has always been a puppet of the North, and because he has always been a puppet of the North, he had no powers. Anything the North wants, Obasanjo will do. But this time around that we've got a proper Yoruba man, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in power, who has got no godfather, but walked his way through to the top. The North are not comfortable. They were not comfortable when Obasanjo was there in 1999 to 2007. They frustrated him because they wanted the power back to come to the North. But he played them. Obasanjo played them by bringing in Goodluck Ebele Jonathan through a sickly Umaru Yar'Adua. Jonathan got there, he was unable to play the game, and because he was just a common civilian, an ordinary civilian, the military will never take any orders from him because democracy was still very young in that nasty piece of a contraption called Nigeria. Jonathan's government was destabilized by the military. Top of the list amongst them that you've seen, and I've showcased this a long time, Buba Galadima was part and parcel of the Boko Haram sponsors as well. There are a lot of people, and you can hear President Bola Ahmed Tinubu saying that they will kill me if I step my toes on Boko Haram sponsors. Kashim Shettima is a Boko Haram sponsor. Sultan of Sokoto is a Boko Haram sponsor. Sheikh Gumi, Ahmad Gumi, is a Boko Haram sponsor. Your defense minister, Matawale Bello, is a Boko Haram sponsor. Nasiru El-Rufai, number 5, is a Boko Haram sponsor. Alimadu Sharif, number 6, is a Boko Haram sponsor. And 7, your fake dodgy latex Muhammadu Buhari that died in 2017, whose fake corpse was then brought into the country to be buried this year, telling you Buhari died, is the godfather of Boko Haram sponsors. Bola Ahmed Tinubu knew all of these people, and they are all connected to those names. These 7 names I've revealed to you, they are all connected to those 6 Nigerians released by the United Arab Emirates and those other companies working on their behalf that I had already made public. I've made known to you. So now, because the North is now aware that Donald Trump is going to strike, and I can authoritatively tell you that Donald Trump is ready to strike. He's ready to strike, and 2 American warships are already in the Atlantic Ocean. The strike is going to be hard, and because the strike is going to be hard, this is why the North, the Boko Haram sponsors or terrorist or bandit sponsors, now intensified their aggressive actions in killing more Christians. They know what is coming. So, because they know exactly what is coming, minus the coup plot that was exposed and the government is still in denial, I can tell you authoritatively as well that the northern oligarch, the North, are planning another coup to topple President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They are planning again because before Donald Trump will come, because they already know Donald Trump is going to come, and I am in full support for Donald Trump to strike, and when Donald Trump strike, Donald Trump should strike hard. Yes, Narada Franklin, let me post your comment. You see, I have a problem with your. Let me post your comment, and I think I'll have to talk about this. You said the U.S. government also consented to the use of Boko Haram terrorists against Jonathan's government. Yes, the U.S. government consented to the use of Boko Haram terrorists against Jonathan's government, but that was not Donald Trump. That was Barack Obama. That was Barack Obama. That was that hopeless, ridiculous, nasty piece of a log called Barack Obama. I was never a friend of Barack Obama. I don't want to talk about his sexuality as the man that wants to impose gay into the African community. I don't want to go there, but he was the one, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump came, remember, let us be honest with ourselves, Donald Trump came, Narada Franklin, and sanctioned Nigeria in his first term in office as a country of personal concern, CPC. And he's been working on that. You see, Barack Obama refused to sell to Goodluck Jonathan's government weapons to fight terrorists. Let us be clear and let us be honest. Let us be fair and let us be sincere with ourselves. The real problem of Nigeria today, Barack Obama should be meant to account for it. When he was sworn in, a lot of people were rejoicing, and I said Barack Obama is not a black man. He's a mixed race. The mother is white. The father is black Kenyan. He's not a proper black man. I objected to the fact that people said a black man. I'll be honest with you. Obama is the bane of the problem of Nigeria today. So if Donald Trump is going to recolonize Nigeria in 2025, 2026, so be it. I'm ready for it. And many of you should be prepared and ready for it. Your life will get better. Because in the 50s, in the 40s, in the 50s, at least my father and my mother, they told me and they narrated their own experiences to me under the British colonial rule. Their lives were better. Yesterday, I was talking to one of my avid viewers who called me on a WhatsApp call. Wasiu Babatunde Ajani. I'll mention his name because anytime I come live, he wanted to know more. And he was asking me, and I said, listen, Nigeria was better off in the 40s and in the 50s. Why? Because it only took the British in the 50s 2 years to turn a forest called New Lagos, Surulere, mainland. It only took the British colonial rule 2 years to turn a forest named New Lagos. That was the name given to it before they changed it to mainland. 2 years to turn it into a town. And I tell you what, between the years 1955 to 1963, I'm telling you, my dad, I can tell you this story because my father, the late engineer Zacchaeus Andrew Bello, popularly known as ZAB, was the chief town planning officer at the PWD. PWD was known as the town planning office under the British establishment. He was the one that planned the New Lagos. It took 2 years to turn a forest into town, and the whole idea was to depopulate Lagos Island. And the moment the British developed New Lagos, that depopulation started from those families in Lagos Island, and each and every one that is of 18 years and above were given their own apartments in the New Lagos. They built it in such a way. Listen, my family house is still there. Lagbaja. Now, when you look at things, First Act 77, it only took Obasanjo less than a year to build a whole new First Act village from a forest. Less than a year, when he was a military junta. It can be done. But the willpower by your ridiculous, hopeless, blood-sucking parasites who call themselves politicians, it's not just there to develop you people. So if Donald Trump and the European Union must have finalized their paperwork to recolonize, to start that recolonization agenda from Nigeria, so be it. My own generation was punished by this hopeless, ridiculous Obasanjo's regime from 1976. We were the casualty, the first casualty of misgovernance. And I will never forgive them. And Obasanjo, his family, his children, and everyone will know no peace. And all those that plunged Nigeria into comatose. And I mean it, because I'm angry. So if Donald Trump is going to come in, and the Nigerian military are thinking of taking over power or to kill President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President Tinubu is not your meat. We will change the narrative. Let Trump and the European Union come back. I think I disagree with you, Nada Franklin. You said the crux of the matter is that, let me post your comment. Nada Franklin, you said the crux of the matter is that the US government, whether under Obama or Trump or Biden, was highly complicit in the insecurity crisis of Nigeria. America's foreign policies are the same, not under Trump. I disagree with you. I totally disagree with you on that issue. Trump is not one of them. So guys, make no mistakes. I don't want you to begin to think that Trump is coming to steal your natural resources. He's not coming to steal your natural resources. Trump is an icebreaker, deal breaker. He doesn't lie. That's why Obama, the Clintons, the Bidens, they don't like him. That's why they wanted to get rid of him. He has no godfather, just like Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I pray and I hope and I wish Bola Ahmed Tinubu will do the same. Did Bola Ahmed Tinubu destroy democracy in Nigeria? Number 2. The answer is no. Bola Ahmed did not destroy democracy in Nigeria. Now look back, 1999 to date. What happened in 1999 when Obasanjo was orchestrated and then was brought back to power to dice the tension in Yoruba land, because he was the architect of the June 12. Look at the way Bola Tinubu silenced opposition. And the North, the same North, were after his throat that they made him president. And he has to dance to their throne. And he danced to their throne. What did Olusegun Obasanjo did between 1999 and the election leading up to 2003? Obasanjo destroyed opposition completely and then brought all his boys that he wanted to use. Ayo Fayose, Gbenga Daniels, Ayo Fayose, Gbenga Daniels, Rashid Ladoja, and Omishore Olabusoye Omishore in Osun. The only state remaining that was difficult in 2003 for Olusegun Obasanjo to trample upon, remember, was Lagos. By fraud, Obasanjo claimed all those 4 Yoruba states that were Awolowo's state for the PDP. Destroyed the Southwest. But the North were laughing at the time. And that was not the first time, by the way. The Southwest has always been, the Southwest, the Yoruba land, has always been the real bone of contention and competition for both the East and the North. Ojú gbogbo wọn ó máa ń fẹ̀ báyìí sílẹ̀ Yorùbá ni. Tinubu never destroyed democracy. Obasanjo destroyed democracy in Nigeria. Obasanjo was the architect of the destruction of democratic activities in Nigeria, not Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What Bola Ahmed Tinubu is now having to do is to perfect the destruction that Obasanjo enacted in 2003. You remember the same Obasanjo said the PDP will rule Nigeria for 60 years. Now, begin to look at 369. 369. 3 completed cycle of 60 years in location 9. But that never came into existence because Obasanjo got the codings wrong. Tinubu, the last point that I'm going to talk about this night. Tinubu 2023 versus Jonathan 2011. Both of these two individuals were Southern presidents. Jonathan in 2011 and Tinubu in 2023. The same game plan that Bola Tinubu participated in toppling Goodluck Ebele Jonathan for 2015 is the same game that the North is now playing against him. So the case of Bola Tinubu in 2025 is what goes round comes round. The law of karma. The North, because they wanted power to come back to the North, knowing fully well that Goodluck Ebele Jonathan shortchanged them due to Umaru Yar'Adua's death, to which I showed you the video yesterday that I made in 2020 to to advise Goodluck, when I advised Goodluck Jonathan to conduct the most credible elections in the country and hand over power, but sit on the oil in South and wait for the North to come. That is when I will show my own true color as the satanic agent of God to the North. Because first I told him to steal as much as possible within those years, but conduct the most credible election. Don't go. You accidentally became the president after Umaru Yar'Adua's death. I advised him in 2011 not to run, but between the period, those 2 years that he managed the affairs of the country, if I were Jonathan, I think I discussed this on Ben Television with Alistair Shoyode, the CEO of Ben Television at the time. And I said, if I were you, Goodluck Jonathan, everybody steals, nobody is interested in Nigeria. I will loot Nigeria's treasury and will leave nothing left behind, and then I will wait for you to come down south. That is the money I looted. I was advising him with Alistair Shoyode. That money that I looted from the government, that was the oil money, I will use it to empower my militants. It is do or die. Okay, I've handed over power. Take power. I will arm them. There will be no peace. They will not get one crude oil extracted from the south. I was saying that, and that was exactly what Goodluck Ebele Jonathan should have done if I were him at the time. Make the lives of the northern oligarch difficult, because the wealth of the nation depend on the crude oil from the south. They wanted power, and they got the power. Jonathan got the power, won the election in 2011, but never ruled successfully. My mouth stinks. My mouth stinks. So the same game plan that the North played for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for Goodluck Jonathan in 2011, is what they are now unleashing on Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which was why I said to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, don't forget about 2027, just come back home. There's nothing called Nigeria. I perhaps don't really know exactly what is going through his mind, but I tell you what, things going to get really worse for him. Narada Franklin, he said America is not a reliable partner and cannot be trusted. I think you joined the stream late, and I gave an indication of the differences when the British were ruling Nigeria. I still concede. You see, if you say they are not reliable partner and cannot be trusted, you see, the Western world, the British and the Americans, if I may expatiate on your point, they underestimated their colonies, especially the British. They underestimated, and they never played a clean game on a clean slate. But the reasons why the British and the Americans failed to play a clean game on a clean slate after independence was the fact that the British saw the wickedness of the black race in Nigerians. The British knew our leaders were bloody, greedy bastards. But because the British knew they were greedy bastards, the British and the Americans then capitalized on that. The same greediness that played out in slavery, colonization, and neo-colonization is exactly what Chinese had already perfected. And that's why they are able to gain grounds in many of the African countries. The greed. If you know exactly what I mean. The only country, or the only country that I know for sure that even if we have to deal, even if Africans will have to deal with them, minus Europe, Western Europe, and America, is if we move towards Russia. Russia would perhaps give, I'm not saying this just to, say things out of my head, but I know for a fact that Russia is probably a better partner to many of the African countries, even more than China. Russia is not as greedy as the rest of the world, but perhaps the only problem that African countries will see when they align with Russia is that communist system that may not really bring real rapid progress. One hour coming to 19 minutes. I thought I'll be able to make this in about 45 minutes, 1 hour. I don't want to stay too long, so that for those who may wish to watch the stream at a later part of their spare time. Let me thank you all for coming in to watch today's stream. I have thought that probably I'm going to come live midweek or towards the end of the week, but I streamed yesterday, although I didn't talk really much, and I thought, I need to really talk about this issue. There are many things going on across in Nigeria that is really giving cause for concern, but to be very honest with you, top of the list is Nigeria between the military and recolonization by Donald Trump and the European Union. And I think we are just about to be recolonized. Until next time, guys, let me wish you a nice week, and we hope to do it quite often from now on. Just make sure that you turn on your notification bell on YouTube and follow us on Facebook if you have not done that. Today is Monday, the 24th day of November 2025, and by the time in front of your console is 22:34. Yes, I can come live anytime as from now because things are changing rapidly, and I tell you what, Nigeria will be struck by Donald Trump. Until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I hope to see you on my next live show and stream. Lots of videos will come your way, so watch out for all those ones as well. Take extra care of yourselves and have a great week, and I wish you God's blessing. Thank you. Good night.
New Media TV. Beyond the headlines. News in its purest form. If you have enjoyed this video or any of our podcasts or live streams, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe for more content like this. We make information simple. Your experience matters to us. Liberty Media Communications. Live stream with confidence. Fewness of words. Greatness of deeds. We empower people around the world to stand up for their social or ethical principles of freedom or entitlement. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video or live stream.